Hey guys, welcome back to Sewing Back. It's Brandy here. Did you see all those peppers? Well, now I am working on what am I going to do with all these peppers? And so I decided to do some stuffed peppers. And I started with 2 pounds of ground beef. I had sauteed a little onion up in that as well with a little olive oil. And then in my Instapot, I did some brown rice. This is the easiest way to do rice. And I mixed the two ingredients together. I put a little tomato paste and some Italian seasonings, and I ended up halving my peppers and I just started loading them up with essentially it's kind of like an Italian flavored stuffed pepper. You could go if you more of a Hispanic flavor if you wanted, but I wanted to go more the Italian way, and so I actually put a little parm over the top, and then I diced up all the rest of the peppers. Some of them are in slices and some were cubed. And then when I went to the store after Thanksgiving, I caught a great deal on ground turkey as well as another whole turkey. I got another whole turkey for a very good price, and I picked up 5 packages. These are 1 pound packages of organic ground turkey, and they were $2.49 a package, and they had tons of these. And this is because we're finishing Thanksgiving, so there's an abundance of turkey products, and ground turkey typically goes on sale after Thanksgiving. So I picked these up and I'm batch cooking all of this up for other dinners in the future. And what I'm sauteing, I just did a little infused olive oil. It's a cilantro and roasted onion. It's my favorite. And I've got that with some onion and some of my bell peppers. And we're just going to open these up after this gets sauteed just a bit. And we're going to cook up this ground turkey. And I can't totally remember if this was a 93.7, which is what I thought it was, but it might have been an 85.15 fat content. I honestly just cannot remember. I really didn't care because I can drain off the excess fat, not for $2.49 for organic ground turkey meat. We prefer ground turkey for tacos and chili and things like that. I know a lot of people may like beef, so you could do this with beef, but I was taking advantage of what I found on sale, and I am so thankful that I did this big old batch. So, this big old batch ended up, as you will see, providing enough for me to do 4 quart size freezer bags full of seasoned um, ground turkey. So I seasoned it with my taco season. I kind of use the same seasoning for chili, and I would just add more of the chili type spices once I added in my beans and my tomatoes. I actually have a tomato base. I have a video where I show how I do that mix to make chili and when I can it up with my homegrown tomatoes. And so I put that in it, but I always still season my meat. And I just use the same taco seasoning. It's all pretty much tastes the same. And as you can see, I've got it all cooked up just about. And I just kind of eyeball the seasoning. I really feel like that's a personal preference. Some people like more seasoning. I feel like I'm more of a minimalist when it comes to some of those things. I always feel like you can add more, but you can't take away. And I have some family members that if you put too much or if you put too much spicy, it doesn't sit well with them. However, I have other family members that are the spicier the better. So those are things you can add on later. So I try to make it for the masses when I do stuff. So as I said, I ended up getting 4 quart size freezer bags, and so I did 2 for chili and 2 for turkey tacos. And I have one of these out for this week for dinner to help pay it forward on a busy weeknight so that dinner's done. We just add the fixins, and you can see that I have those together. And And so the next thing I went to doing was taking the leftover of my turkey from Thanksgiving. And what I'm doing here is I am pulling off all the salvageable meat that I didn't put out and plate up the day of Thanksgiving. And I'm taking all the bones and I'm putting those in a gallon size freezer bag, because that gallon size freezer bag is going to go for making some broth in the future. But for right now, it got labeled and it's in the freezer. And that's just because I don't have time to can all that up right now. It's kind of busy. And that leads me to today's recipe. Hey guys, Brady here. Welcome back to Sewing Back. It's Monday night, the Monday after Thanksgiving. And so what are we having for dinner? Well, we're going to take our leftover turkey, some veggies, a puff pastry, some cream, some stock, and a little bit of flour. And we're going to make a turkey almost pot pie. So I thought I'd bring you along. This is so fast. It's so easy. And a little butter. You gotta have a little butter because you gotta make a roux. And that was what I was gonna show you. When you have real ingredients and you know how to make a roux, you can make all kinds of dishes. And a lot of people are intimidated because they haven't done it. But it literally is a fat and some flour. And you kind of get that going. And then you add in some chicken stock or some vegetable stock. I'm going to use chicken stock because that's what I have right now. And you can do this with chicken. Honestly, you could do it with a ground beef if you wanted to. You could do it with anything. And it's super easy. And you just mix it up. You make it until it thickens it to a creamy consistency. And then once you've heated everything up, you put it in a casserole pan. You roll out your puff pastry. You put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15-20 minutes but you want to brush it with an egg wash so it gets a really pretty color on it, and then bake it for about 20-ish minutes in your oven. All ovens depend, but that's about the right time. And dinner's done. And it's so good. It's like such a comfort food, especially as we're heading into winter. This is a great one, and it's using up things that I have. So this is a cheap one too. So that's what's for dinner. So I want to bring you along and show you how easy it is to put this together. Another thing, I have another video I did about Mexican chicken corn chowder. And you could totally do this instead of using, I actually in that video used rotisserie chicken, but you could totally use your leftover turkey. They're interchangeable and it would be totally delicious. Matter of fact, we typically eat turkey tacos, so we actually prefer turkey in a lot of our Hispanic dishes that we do around here. So, so you could also do that. I'll make sure to link that video in the description. So if you are interested in that one, because that hits your fancy a little bit more than like a turkey pot pie, go for it. But don't waste this. Don't waste this treasure of leftover pieces of turkey meat from your Thanksgiving turkey or your Thanksgiving leftovers. So let's get started. So guys, this couldn't be any easier. 6 tablespoons of butter to a half of a cup of some flour, and you mix it all together and you make a roux. And then I blended in 2 cups of heavy cream, 2 cups of stock, some vegetables, and our turkey, and just a little bit of spices. I have a free recipe link in the description if you want to try to make this. All right, guys, it just came out of the oven. Look how beautiful. And it will taste wonderful. And this took me 10 minutes maybe to throw together. And that included making the roux. Now, I was working with, the turkey was fully cooked. So if you had raw meat, you would have to cook that first. My vegetables had been cooked. They were refrigerated. So that was it. It was just making that roux and then adding in some spices. I did some salt and some pepper. I did a little bit of garlic powder. And I think that, oh, and I put parsley on top. It just adds nice color. It was dried parsley. You could use fresh if you had it. But super easy, so delicious, and that's a great way to use up those leftovers. Again, you can do this with chicken. If you had ground beef, you could do it with that, and you would just, instead of a chicken stock, you would use like a beef broth, but you could still make it creamy and delicious and so good. So that's what's for dinner. That's how I finished off my turkey. Now I did save all my turkey bones, the carcass. I have some chicken feet and other stuff that I'm going to use to make some bone broth. But it's just so busy right now. I don't have time to do that and get it canned up. So I froze that, and I will come back to that when I have a little bit more time. So there was no waste with my turkey from Thanksgiving. And not only that, I scored a second turkey, and I paid 39 cents a pound for it. So I put it in the freezer. May not use it till Easter, but it was a great deal. I think it was similar to the one I got at Whole Foods. It was 12 to 13 pounds, something like that. I paid under $6. So stoked about that. So anyway, and if you saw earlier in this video, a lot of times you can get ground turkey because there's an abundance of turkey. So I actually snagged those deals. That was organic turkey, ground turkey, lean too. I think it was lean. It might have been 85.15. I can't remember. But it was $2.49 a pack. So I scored 5 packs. I didn't take them all. Didn't want to be greedy. They had tons. But I took those, I cooked all those up, and I have 4 other dinners with that meat. And so I have 2 taco meals and 2 chili meals. And what did I do? Put it in the freezer. So, but that was a phenomenal deal. So try to catch those good deals right now after Thanksgiving. And don't waste any of those leftovers. You can always repurpose them. And I want to thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.